Hello, 11Q Resource and Research Group. I am Billy Price, co-founder of Billy Footwear, and it is a pleasure being able to speak with you today. I'm sorry I'm not there in person, but through technology, we're able to record something, and then here we are presenting. So, I'm really excited for you guys to be able to get together for your 2022 conference. And I know it's going to be a weekend, or at least next few days, of just being able to share, being able to have those shoulders to not only cry on, but also, just like kind of catch up and reminisce and really look forward to what the future has in store for all of us. So I was asked to kind of put together something where it comes to really preserving through what happens when we get faced with those difficult life situations. How does one preserve? How does one persevere? How does one endure when we're forced to really choke down those difficult life situations? Because oftentimes, when we get hit with a curveball like that, I can certainly think from personal experience here, we ask the question, why? Why me? Why is this? Why did this happen? And what I found is that why me question it's a tough one, and it's a dangerous one, because every time I've asked that question, there's never been an answer. And all it does is it makes me spiral down and get in my head and just have a very difficult time when I'm clouded with that type of, you know, you start getting that negative talk. So my story, I'm a wheelchair user. I broke my neck when I was a teenager. I fell out of a 3-story window. It was a head first fall to concrete where I broke my neck and I broke my lower back. And I instantly became paralyzed from the chest down, which also affected my hands. So my hand dexterity, isn't there. I can move my wrist, but I can't move my fingers. So when that happened, there were a lot of things that I used to be able to do that I could no longer do. And putting on shoes was one of those things. So I teamed with a good friend of mine growing up, and lo and behold, we came up with a shoe design which allowed the zipper to go on the outside of the shoe and around the toe where the hole up would fold over, and you could drop your foot in unobstructed. And that was the solution we came up for my own challenge, which then gave me my independence so I could put my shoes on again. And that moment was so special that we decided to share it. And in that moment, Billy Footwear was born. So if you're not familiar with our shoes, check it out. But that's kind of the shoe connection is how I got connected with your group. But I'm not really here to talk about shoes. I'm here to talk about how we can keep our mind together and how we can move forward when things get tough. When we're down in the trenches trying to fight those daily battles, how do we keep that clear mindset to be able to move forward when everything in our being feels like we're just being pushed back into, I don't know, some sort of funk. And it's tough. It really is. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I mean, I remember being in the hospital. I remember laying on my back, staring up at that light, and being told that I would never be able to walk again. And it was a very difficult thing to hear. It wasn't my plan. That was not my plan going through life. And that type of curveball really knocked me back, because all I could think about was all the things that I used to be able to do. All I could think about was kicking a soccer ball, throwing a football, using my mountain bike, going on hiking trips, being able to use my hands in my dad had a woodworking shop, and I loved playing with all those tools to be able to build things. And now, just like that, after breaking my neck, and becoming paralyzed, all those things that I used to be able to do and enjoy doing, I can no longer do. And frankly, when I got that information and when I was trying to comprehend what this future would look like and not being able to do those things that I was accustomed to, I didn't have the tools really to process what this unknown space would look like. Now, one of the things that helped me move forward was getting connected with friends, family, and then new acquaintances of which I didn't know, that really saw potential in me before I saw potential in myself. They were the ones that saw that I was still alive. I mean, life, my goodness, life is such a blessing. Just the fact that we're able to be on this planet and wake up in the morning and see the sunshine and try to add value. I mean, that's a tremendous blessing that we need to embrace. But these guys, they saw potential in me. And in that moment when things felt so dark, where I was soaring around things like it's not worth living if you can't walk, I was able to change my mindset. and I was able to focus on what I still had, and I was able to move forward. Now, that doesn't mean that things all of a sudden become easy or the problems go away. Actually, on the contrary, really, that's really when the grind begins. What it meant was trying to keep my head above water and trying to, pick up the pieces, put things back together, and take on this new life of which was totally foreign to me. And I can think about being in that hospital. I can think about, trying to understand what spinal cord injury meant. And this was 1996. So the internet really wasn't born yet. And the internet that was out there, there really wasn't a whole lot of content out there. So I didn't really have the ability to be able to network and connect with people out there that, I could relate to that were also in wheelchairs. And one of the things I love about your organization, 11Q, I mean, your website, being able to go on there, being able to get connected with people, being able to share stories, being able to share successes, and to be able to share times when we're down, to be able to create that community is so incredibly valuable. Because when we work as a community, we can move forward together. When we try to do things on an individual basis, it is so incredibly difficult. We try to fix that problem. It's so hard. Whew. Speaking of fixing problems, I'm thinking about this moment, which was incredibly emotional because as I was going through rehab in the hospital, the focus was just on me. But it's like, yes, I was the one with the spinal cord injury, but it's not just me that's affected. It's everyone around me that's affected. It's everyone around our entire family, all of our friends, all of our, the people that we knew. And I remember I was laying in the hospital because I was in the hospital about 5.5 months. And there was a moment where my dad, he kneeled down next to me. And I remember he was holding my hand. And boy, I haven't told this story in a while. And I mentioned that he had a woodworking shop that I loved to, go in there and use all the drills and the hammers and the screwdrivers and the nails and the screws and everything, all that stuff to be able to build stuff. And I swear my dad's got every tool underneath the sun. I mean, he's got all of it. And I'd never really seen my dad cry before. And in this moment, that emotion started flowing and the tears were flowing. And he got choked up big time. And I remember, to the best of his ability, he choked out the words, "I don't have the tools to fix you." And that just crushed him. That absolutely crushed him. Because the man, he's like, as the father, as like the head of the household, as just the dad, I mean, he wanted to be able to pick me up and make things better. Just like when I tripped and fell on the soccer field or tripped and fell on, like mountain biking on my bike or like skateboarding or like whatever it may be. And we were cut and bruised, like the family member would swoop in, like pick you up and go like, you know what? You tried really hard. You fell, but it's okay. I'm going to pick you up. And from that failure, you'll be able to learn what happened and you're going to be able to keep moving forward. And in that moment, this grown man, my father, was just absolutely shattered, just broken, because in his words, he did not have the tools to fix me. The thing is, though, when I reflect back on that, it wasn't a matter of him needing the tools to fix me because I didn't need fixing. We needed to come together as a family and approach this thing the best we could. And that was a matter of focusing on the things that we have, focusing on the blessing, shying away from the curse, shying away from the challenge, acknowledging the challenge, but not let the challenge constrain us or consume us or devour us and make us go down that spiral of negative thought. Instead, it was a matter of focusing on the blessing, focusing on the family unit, focusing on the community, focusing on everyone around us and doing what we could to move forward, sharing those stories of hardship. Because when we hear the pain, it's amazing how powerful that pain and how much we can leverage that pain to make things better. So I just really encourage you guys this weekend or the next couple of days, however long it is. I know you guys meet all the time. Like you're connected through I'm not sure, like email and text messaging and just like newsletters or whatever it may be. But I just really encourage you guys to get together, have a spectacular convention, and just, share those stories, share that emotion, have those shoulders to cry on, but then just, galvanize those relationships because life truly is a blessing and life is not easy. Life is not easy. That's one of the things about life. It is not fair. And, but at the same time, that sun comes up every single day. And when it feels the absolute darkest, and we are in our darkest hour, as the saying goes, it is always darkest before the dawn. So you guys have a great convention, and thank you so much for this opportunity to be able to, share and speak. And all the best to you guys, and get after it. Take care, guys.